How to cook a delicious haddock kedgeree. Hello everybody, my name is James Howe and this is Chef at Home. I aim to give you inspiration to make better food in your own home. In today's video we dive into another one of my fave 5 recipes. At the moment we're looking at breakfast dishes, so let's jump in. So prep wise, not that much to do. Bulk of the work's in the cook section. First job, to get yourself a pan of water onto boil. Once that's hit a rapid boil, just drop in a couple of eggs. And we're going to rapid boil them for around about 6 minutes. Then next job, grab yourself a couple of shallots. If you don't have shallots, you can use white onions, red onions, whatever you've got really. And all we're going to do is just fine dice them. Flavour wise, they are very similar to the onion family. They're just a little bit more delicate, a little bit sweeter. But as I say, if you can't find them, it's not the end of the world. Once they're diced, just into the pot. And then next up, I've got a mixture here of coriander and parsley leaf. So all we're going to do is just give them a little bit of a scrunch and just chop those up as well. You don't have to be too precise, you can be quite rough with it. Don't even worry about taking out the stalks. There's plenty of flavour in those as well, and they're perfect in this dish. Once your eggs are done, out the water, and we're just going to drop them into cold water, and then they're going to cool down enough so we can work with them a little bit later on. Okay, so the cook portion of this. As I said before, this is where most of the work happens. It's not that labour intensive. Grab yourself a pan. You can use the one that you cook the eggs in if you clean it out, it's not a problem. In with your rice, it's about 200 grams of long grain rice and about 400 grams or 400 ml of water. Flick that on a high heat, let that come to the boil. Once that's at boiling point, lid on, turn the heat down and let it simmer for another 10 minutes. Okay, now, so grab yourself another pan, make sure it's a big enough pan because everything's going to be going in here a little bit later on, but for now, pour in about 200 ml of milk. Get yourself some lovely fillets of smoked haddock and just lay them in the milk. And just add in a couple of bay leaves. And we're going to let that simmer for around about 10 minutes, and that's going to delicately poach that haddock out. Just make a point of remembering how many bay leaves you put in, because you need to get them out later and you don't want to forget that number. Write it down if need be. So in just a few minutes, the haddock is nicely poached, and just carefully scoop that out. Make sure you know you can still see your bay leaves in there. Your rice has had its time, just turn it off, leave the lid on, and just let that rest for another 10 minutes. You can keep this milk to use for a fish pie or something along those lines. For this dish, the work with it is done, so I'm going to keep it for something else, but if you want to, you can get rid. So now coming back to this haddock, and grab yourself a little spoon and just gently break it up. You're not looking for massive chunks, but just flakes, probably somewhere around that sort of size. And just leave that to one side for the time being. Now into this pan, a little bit of oil, and just put that on a medium heat. And then in with your onion or shallot, whichever you're using. Just let them sweat off, let them go nice and soft. Not looking to colour them so much at this stage, just get them nice and soft. Then into there, about a teaspoon's worth of ground or flake coriander, about a teaspoon of turmeric, and about same again of curry powder. Just stir that through. So just stir them through and let them cook out for 2-3 minutes. And you'll start to see them take on this lovely golden colour. And from here, all we're doing is combining everything. So fold in your rice and just let them cook for 1 or 2 minutes just to soak up all the spice and the flavour. This is a really great way of using up leftover rice from the night before as well. So you don't have to cook it fresh on the morning. You can just fold in the rice straight from the fridge. Then fold in your haddock flakes. Just try to be gentle at this stage. Don't be too heavy-handed, because the fish might break up even more. Then you chop parsley and coriander from earlier. Fold that through. Just gives it a lovely, fresh, vibrant colour. Then finish off with a little bit of salt and pepper. Heat off, lid on, and get ready to plate up. Okay. So again, like many of these videos have been before, I'm trying to cut out as much of the chefy bollocks as possible. Just keep it nice and simple. So 2 or 3 spoons of the kedgeree, centre of the plate. Now if you were wondering where those eggs went from earlier, just before plating up, I've whipped the shell off, and I'm hoping the yolk is still a little bit soft in the middle. So it's a moment of truth. Lovely. Now just sit on. Alright, a little bit of chefy bollocks. It's annoying you more than it should. There's an even number of egg on there. Got a thing about odd numbers. And there we are. That is the breakfast of champions. And there we are, guys. Beautiful plate of kedgeree. Loads of flavour, loads of protein. Perfect to set you up for the day. And a great way to use up any leftovers that you got in the fridge. You can put different fish in there, you can add in different vegetables that you got cooked off. Now take this base and experiment, go wild. And that is why it's one of my favourite breakfasts in the world. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.